You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
And welcome back to the show. Of course, I'm your host, Mike David, and joining me today, please welcome my guest, Amy Satori. Amy, how are you today?
Hey, I'm great, thank you. Been running lots of errands today, been really busy.
Okay, awesome. That's good that you're getting some things done. And Amy, why don't you start with first putting out your contact info or whatever is the best way for my audience to reach out to you for after the show.
Thank you. Well, you could go to YouTube and put my name. It's Amy, A-M-Y, and the last name is Satori, S-A-T-O-R-I. And when you see the pink lotus, that's me. And then if you go to Instagram, just put in Amy Satori and follow me on Instagram. Those are the two best ways. You've got also my website is amysatori.com. So I make it really easy. Everything is just my name, if you just remember my name.
Excellent, excellent. And Amy, we're definitely glad to have you back. And I just want to give a quick reminder that we are going to be taking callers throughout this show. So if you would like to call in and ask a question here to Amy, you can definitely do so by calling 631-627-3703. Once again, that's 631-627-3703. And call at any point during the show. We'll get your question answered here. And Amy, again, it's a pleasure to have you back with us. We always do enjoy and look forward to getting more information and more insight that you give. But for those out there who are first time tuning into you or just may not be as familiar, if you don't mind just going over what it is you do exactly and just a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Basically, I'm just kind of a conduit for spirit's information that wants to come to you. Putting it really simply, I'm an intuitive spiritual teacher. So I have been enlightened before, so I know what it actually is. I know how the other side works pretty well. And I'm able to tap into your spirit guides, animals. I'm a pet psychic. I started as a pet psychic, as well as just basically if you have any kind of question about anything going on in your life and you want to make the best decision, or even if you want to know like what your boss thinks of you, I do reviews. People who are working on creative projects like producers, directors, writers, authors, and singers. A lot of people try to tap into the other side for inspiration and ideas and just general guidance in every area of your life. So if there's something you're trying to navigate in your life, then feel free to reach out to me. I'm here on the show, and I would be happy to help you with that. Or you could go to my website, amysatori.com, and just click on services and read all about all the different things that I do. You could also put in the Satori Show on YouTube and watch some past episodes of me helping people who've called in. My specialty is true love, my favorite subject. So I really love to help people navigate their love situations. And a lot of times you'll hear me talk about twin flames and things like that on here. And I'm writing a book about that. And so it's like you'll hear me talk about the divine masculine and the divine feminine and things like that. But you could learn a lot more about that on my channel. You could go to you could look up the different types of true love with my name, and this talk will come on that kind of explains all the different things I talk about.
Awesome, awesome. And just another reminder, if you're looking to call in, that number is 631-627-3703. Again, 631-627-3703. Now, Amy, I want to ask you, how did the YouTube channel come about? What was it about, wanting to put yourself out there in that sort of way? And what are some of the things that you hope to accomplish with that channel?
That's such a great question because I've done so many different things with it. I was watching readers. I was watching tarot readers, and I just loved what they did, and I wanted to be like them. And I thought, wow, I was already doing all this other stuff, and I thought, I want to be able to help people with their love lives and everything on YouTube. And I started my podcast, which was all about true love, so it kind of made sense to be able to even videotape the podcast and put it on YouTube as well. So I was a novice when I first began, and I used to talk about things about having healthy boundaries and empowerment, and how to look at things in a less fearful way and things like that when I first began. But as
Amy,
I learned,
sorry to cut you off, Amy. We actually do have a caller for you, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Caller, are you with us?
I am. Thank you so much.
No problem. Why don't you go ahead and ask your question here to Amy?
Hi, Amy. I actually have 2 questions if you have time. The
Sure.
first one, I was wondering if you could feel into my dog. He's an old rescue dog that we've had a couple of years. And they said he wouldn't live past 6 months, and he's going on year 3.
Wow.
But he is, it's pretty cool. But his health is definitely deteriorating. And I was wondering if you could just kind of fill into that situation and let me know, is it his time?
Yes, it is. It's real close. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Whenever I tune into animals, they either get on the camera if I'm talking to you over Zoom, or they bark, or they make noise. They make themselves known. It's time for him. He definitely feels entirely grateful. He feels like this chapter is about to close up. It feels like there's still a little bit of time left, but he's going to make it clear to you when he wants to go. He doesn't want you feeling guilty. He certainly is so grateful that, in fact, you gave him those extra years because of your love for him and how sweet you were to him. He just kind of wanted to milk it for all it was worth. But yeah, he definitely feels very at peace and very happy about going to the other side. They're not like us, they don't dread dying. They've been through this so many times. They've cycled through, dogs, cats, they switch around a lot in spirit. So to them, it's just like taking off your clothes and putting on a new wardrobe. So no big deal to them.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I really felt like it was getting to that time, but I'm just not sure if I know when.
I feel like probably before or around Valentine's Day. It's almost like he wants to go out around Valentine's Day to thank you and say he loves you so much.
Oh, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And then my other question is about a relationship. I've been in a relationship kind of on and off with somebody for a year, and they are moving to Texas.
Okay.
And I just want your feelings on that. Is this my person, or should I try to figure this out? Should I just let him go and put it all behind me?
Okay, so what's been the problem? What's been the touch and go? Why have you guys been back and forth?
He is in the process of going through a divorce, but it's a very complicated divorce.
Okay. Let me feel into it, because I'm going to look into 2 different aspects, what he feels about her and what he feels about you. Gosh. Woo. Okay. Yeah. I think he's definitely a true love counterpart for you. I just think he's in a mess. I think he's got to, it's like he's in a sticky situation with the person that he's leaving. And I feel like she tries to play every turn. It's like she's always a step ahead of him and trying to keep him from moving on. So he feels like as much as he wants to be badly with you, he's got to battle this out. And I feel like going to Texas is a move in the right direction for him. And I also think that he'll probably be beckoning you to come out there if you could. I think he's got you in mind going out there. He's trying to just break away from that situation. He said that, okay.
He wants me to come out there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big chance for a what if,
Well, what's the what if? I mean, I would just definitely wait till his divorce is absolutely final and he's got everything all cleared up. But don't you worry, because the minute it is, he's coming for you and he's going to nab you up. He's scared to let you go. So he's going to go over there and just make you guys a home and get everything all comfortable and set up. And then he's going to be the minute he feels kind of safe and secure and she's out of the picture and whatnot, yeah, he's calling for you.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so much for
welcome.
that clarification. It makes me feel better.
Hey, good. Yeah, he feels like a sweetheart. he really has integrity. You know, he's a really good guy, and it weighs on him that anybody would be playing games and manipulating the way she has. So it's really hard on him.
He's a very gentle soul.
Yeah, he's been running an emotional marathon. He's exhausted, you know, and honestly, it's like if I were you, I'd be encouraging him to take a little time off, maybe take just a little 3-day vacation and just do nothing, veg out, and just give back to himself for once. He's such a giver. He really needs to care about himself for just a minute, you know. He needs a bit of a breather. And sometimes it gives you clarity, you know, when you're stumped and you're brainstorming all the time and you're just thinking too much. Sometimes it's good to just walk away from a project very temporarily even and just go clear your head thinking about nothing having to do with any of it, you know, just go out in the mountains, go camping for a few days, or just go enjoy nature and then come back and all of a sudden all the answers start flooding in and everything seems more clear. That's what it feels like he needs right now.
Okay, I'll actually bring that up to him.
Cool, good. Tell him I said hi.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You guys have a great day.
And you can, by the way, you can watch this on YouTube afterwards. I record it. So if you actually want to show him me saying this about him, hi, then go ahead and
I will. That's a brilliant idea.
On YouTube. Yay, okay.
All right, thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again for calling in. We do appreciate that, and awesome for you to help her out, Amy. That was great. Now, kind of going back to what we were talking about prior to our caller, you know, your YouTube channel, you know, you took it upon yourself to put this different content out there. What are some of the other things you're looking to accomplish with a channel like this?
Well, like I said, I started out with tarot because I wanted to do that, and then I started learning tarot, and then that's kind of like what started to be like a thing that I could do for people on a regular basis that they could learn to depend on. And then I started recording the podcast and putting that up, so then they had that regularly every week. And, you know, you give somebody something to look forward to like that, and they feel like they get to know you. You start building your tribe, and you create like a bond. And I started to have kind of a family grow from that. And then I started to realize that there was a need for divine feminines. Divine feminines could be male or female, but they're the ones who go toward love rather than away from love. There's always a runner and a chaser in true love. So the divine feminines I noticed that in our readings, a lot of our personal readings, a lot of these people were going to be wildly successful and become famous, maybe even overnight. So I wanted to help prepare them for that and try to get as many people who are already on the other side and super successful at what they do, kind of help these other people in their steps. You know, you don't know when to get an agent or even where to look for one, some of them. I've had a costume designer on there, somebody who was in a boy band, you know, so all these people that have, like even a chef, a celebrity chef, and she talks about what it is to deal with those guys and if you're going to be in that industry. But, yeah, I've been trying to just get all these professionals who've done really well. A jewelry designer who's made it all over, like, magazines like Cosmopolitan and Vanity Fair and things like that. And I just interview them, and it's called a celebrity series, and just pick their brain on how they got so wildly successful, and just to kind of help the divine feminines feel like they are kind of get their feet wet a little bit before they get thrown into becoming famous. And then there's also I do a playlist called Talks About Life. Talks About Life is just these smaller videos, shorter in length, and they talk about things like having healthy boundaries, being a good listener, whether you should call your divine masculine or not, whether ghosting you, you know, what you should do while you're waiting for this person, or whether or not you should wait, you know, how to come into your power, how to be in that Empress energy, how to be like totally receptive, and also some for the masculines mixed in there, you know, how for them to step into their power. They're often people pleasers, so they have to learn to stand up for themselves and, you know, base decisions on what they truly want.
Really interesting stuff. Now, Amy, I wanted to ask because you're doing a lot right now, and you're putting out content, you're interacting with people, you're educating people on all these different topics. How are you able to manage it all, and what is it that keeps driving you to do all these different things?
I am just a creative person, and I'm having so much fun with it. I'm living by spirit, and so spirit will say, go do a live video, and I'll be like, ooh, fun, okay, let's go do that. I don't like doing accounting, but I make myself squeeze that in too. But it's just really fun for me. I'm really enjoying myself, and that's pretty much, so it doesn't really feel like work. And I do set really good boundaries, like I sleep in the morning. That feels really nice. I end between 5 and 7 p.m., and I watch my movies, and I lay on my biomat, and I do things to pamper myself. I get massages. I go get energy work done. So I balance it all pretty well. I also used to be the featured psychic at the Lighthouse Bookstore downtown Boulder, and I cut back my hours there because I'm getting so many orders. So now I'm going to be focusing more days on doing remote readings, remote sessions, which I do all over the world. And then I'm just going to be working on Saturdays for the Lighthouse Bookstore as their psychic. So, yeah, it's really amping up for sure.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It is quite impressive, your ability to do all these things. And Amy, do you ever feel any type of pressure from people, with your responses and the things that you tell them? Do you ever think that they might take it the wrong way, or is there any fear like that?
Yeah, it comes up every once in a while, but mostly what I keep myself coming back to, especially when I started this show, because I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to be on TuneIn Radio, and there's going to be all these people who don't know me. That's different than my tribe. It's got a whole different vibe to it. But I just focus on just wanting to help. And I can talk to spirit much more clearly and decisively and easily than they can. So I'm kind of like the person I'm like the training wheels for them. While they develop their own intuition, I can be here to kind of spot them. And oftentimes people already knew, or they were leaning toward the right answer. So I just confirm it for them. It gives them a little confidence. It makes them feel better. Even the last gal, she was talking about how she kind of felt like it was time. And yeah, you talk to somebody like me, and it's like, okay, now I feel better. I feel like I'm going forward in the right direction. Sometimes you just need that confirmation. So, I don't claim to have all the answers, nor will everybody agree with me. But what I will do is I will ask spirit and tune in as best I can to help the person in any way that I can. Am I always right? No, there is no psychic that is. But does a lot have to do with your degree of how much you are either skeptical or accepting of the information? Everything is a placebo. So if anybody says, I do have a very, very high accuracy rate, I don't know what it is, it's never been measured, but I'm very, very accurate, and I have tons of testimonials all over my Instagram page. But if anybody ever says, oh, well, the things that you said didn't happen or whatever, a lot of times the timing is off, and this is for all psychics. A lot of the times the timing is off, and that's why a lot of psychics won't even give you a time frame. But the information is usually correct. But if it's not, then I have almost every time seen that the person doubted the information, just as with healing. If somebody is really addicted to their story about being in a chronically ill condition and they don't want to heal because part of the reward that they get is being able to talk about it, and people feel sorry for them and all of this other stuff. They get an income from the state or whatever that is. A lot of people they're not even aware that they don't want to change. So they'll subconsciously sabotage whatever healing work I do on them, and I am a healer as well. But people who completely believe and they're wide open, usually things that I predict absolutely happen, and the healing is super effective. So a lot of it has to do with even your own free will, or even your subconscious free will.
Gotcha. Now, do you talk to any other psychics, or are you involved with any other communities as far as, your line of work at all?
Not really. I'm pretty much a loner. I used to be friends. When I first went to the lighthouse, I actually worked as a cashier, and so I used to talk to the psychics that worked there, but I don't think any of them even work there anymore, the ones that I used to talk to. So no, I don't really talk to any other psychics. I mean, I know a lot of intuitive people, but not like people who do my job or that are readers also or anything like that.
Gotcha. Now, I also wanted to ask you, for people that believe they have a gift similar to yours, what do you think are some of the challenges that they might face, and how does someone go on to develop their ability so that they can turn it into a career?
Well, the first thing they have to get over is for one, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just do what you do in your own flavor, and people will flock to you for that who like that tune. And for two, everything is so much more subtle than I spent like 20 years developing this, and I always thought like one day it would just click, and then it would just make sense, and it would be just really clear, and I'd see like a ghost standing in front of me, and it would be like as broad or as clearly as you could see each other kind of thing. And that never did happen. But what happened is I started to pay closer and closer attention and be more self-aware and be more aware of subtle energies around me is what happened. So it oftentimes takes a really quiet mind for you to be able to tune into those energies, but they are very subtle. So you almost have to learn to pay more attention to the subtle realm than you do to loud speaking things that are happening in form. That could be drama. It could be literally loud noises. It could be just a number of different things that are meant to distract you in form, meaning the physical world. But you even if you're involved in the physical world, it's kind of an art to be able to pay attention to the subtleties, even in paying attention to the aliveness in your body, or the subtle shifts that you feel in the energies of the room, or to be able to notice like a fairy just flew by, like a little orb, or when you hear that that ringing in your ears, to just tune in and say, hello, who is this, and inquire. So I think that mostly the problem with anybody wanting to do what I do is they really just lack the confidence as well, and they get in front of people and they question what they're getting. And I think the more testimonials that you get, the more people that confirm for you that you were correct on what you were picking up on, you do build confidence that way, and you start building testimonials, which really helps you boost your confidence. But you'll still even question a little bit going forward when you're not, swamped with people. But it's like I got to the point where people would sit in front of me and cross their arms and be totally closed off and, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. And then I would just say, okay, well, you may think that, but why is Spirit showing me then? I'm not making this up. So there is a reason that Spirit is showing you those cards, and there is a reason that you're seeing this image, even if they don't click with whatever that means to them. They usually figure it out later, or they'll open up to the message later. But I've learned to have confidence in the message, and whether or not the person is open and receptive to it's a whole other thing. And if they want to pay me to be totally stubborn and not open up at all, that's fine. But it'll hit them later. It'll hit them later, because there's always a reason Spirit is showing them what they're doing. I mean, I've even had people be like, nope, I do that all the time. I already do that. They'll just be in total denial. Like everything that I say from Spirit, they just want to argue with it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But if you had an open mind, you would actually see, like, you would try to see what aspect of that is missing. So, yeah, you may be making phone calls every day, but are you really connecting with people from the heart, for example? Yeah, you may be brushing your teeth every day. If Spirit says make sure you brush your teeth every day, but are you brushing your teeth correctly? It's like you may think, you may be on the defensive and argue with whatever a psychic is saying, but really question, if this person has a good reputation, they're really tapping into spirit. I mean, there are shysters in every industry, but try to figure out, try to be wise. Try to be wise in the sense that you can be like a private investigator and figure out, why would spirit be telling this person to tell me this? You know, and try to think that everything is always to your advantage. Everything that's happening around you, what people are saying, all of it is a hint and a clue. So when you get really smart and when you get really wise about this and how you work with life, then you try to see everything and how it all ties together like that, and they can all be hints and clues that point you in the right direction. So the real smart people, they're all over it. They're like guessing right with me, because I'll be like, I'm seeing a basketball. I don't know why I'm seeing a basketball. And they'll be like, I know what it is. It's because this, that, and the other thing, and I need to be more playful, or I just went out with this guy who plays basketball last week. And then when they're really open like that and they start shooting out ideas with me, then it becomes amazing. I mean, because then I get all these additional images, and I get like yeses, and I get like, it gets exciting when people are open. So, but yeah, you get more confident as you go, and you basically just gather testimonials, and then you just get more and more sure about what it is you're sure about. You know, like I had to do. Well, I'm getting these images for a reason. That's what I'm confident in. And either you could take it and do something with it, or you can just be stubborn. It's up to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't make it about me. Yeah, I don't make it about me. It's just more like I'm just a conduit. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. And, you know, as you go, you start to build momentum, and as you said, you gain that confidence. It is really cool. And, again, Amy, you know, for those who want to find out more about you and everything that you're involved in, again, where is it that people can go?
Go to amysatori.com, and you can just put in Amy Satori in YouTube and look for the Pink Lotus. And you can go to Amy Satori on Instagram and find me there. And Instagram, I think, is the funnest, most interactive, because I put like some fun little mini card readings, and I just share with you things that are going on in my life. And we have some really neat little conversations going on over there about love, and it's a neat little community on there. So, yeah.
Excellent. Sounds good. Amy, thanks again for taking the time out to share some great value with our audience and helping them out greatly. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, too.
Yeah,
I appreciate you having me.
No problem at all. We look forward to next time. And for everyone else out there, please stay tuned. We're going to be right back.